Welcome. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Drake and I'm delighted to be here with you today. I'm delighted to be here with you because I'm encouraging creative and courageous relaxation, recognizing that these two states really are connected to each other. By becoming more courageous, by learning how to relax, you automatically step into your creativity. It's interesting to me, it kind of reminds me of my history of really wanting to be in community. One of the first areas of community to me when I first was starting to get old enough was like going to bars. There was something about bars, especially like the whole cheers mentality of going to the same bar. I really was into that. And then, later on, I ended up leaving that kind of scenario, wanting to go to a healthier sort of place. And I started going to coffee shops. But what's interesting, both in bars and in coffee shops, the way they used to be when I was going there originally, you'd go like there was a coffee shop. I think it was called Cafeto. It was here in Minneapolis, and I would go to this coffee shop, and I used to love to read and be in these places. But in these coffee shops at that time, there would be so much smoking going on that when I would leave, my clothes would reek of smoke. And then I would go home and I would just smell of smoke. It was like I was bringing that scent of the coffee shop. It permeated my clothes. And so I want to suggest to you that this is what happens when you spend time with people, that you actually soak in their energy and their energy soaks into you. Now, it's interesting. It reminds me of back when people used to work like on ranches and stuff where, every Saturday or so they would, do a hot bath and fill a basin with really, really hot water. And each person who worked in the ranch would bathe in that. So the lead person would bathe first all the way down to the last. And so the last person was really bathing in the toxins of all these other people. So what I'm saying to you is, just like you don't want to bathe in those toxins, just like you don't want to be permeated with that smoke, you don't want to soak yourself in the toxins of others. When you're soaking in the toxins of others, you find that there is no peace in that state. You can't have a relaxation in that state. What you end up doing is sort of being in a sort of low-level anxiety space all the time, and sometimes even much higher. So we have to shield ourselves from the toxins of other people. And what I'm suggesting is that in the spaces in between, when you're not with those people, be aware that your sense of your emotions are not just about what's going on in the world. There's something you're feeling right now, and they require you to do something right now. I'm suggesting that you begin to see your emotions as a signal to do something right now to improve your situation. Not even necessarily in the area that you feel the emotion about. For instance, if you raise your nutrition level, even though it may not be focused on what's going on at work, if you raise your nutrition level, you're going to find that actually has a positive effect on your work. So right in real time, when you feel these troubling emotions, do something to balance the inner and outer world. Do something to connect with shifting your focus, interrupting the state that you're in, doing immersive practice. Writing down a list of 10 state changers, 10 different ways that you can get out of your head and into your body. Taking hot baths, going for walks, doing yoga, reciting positive passages, focusing in positive visualization. All of these things begin to create a shield that blocks the toxicity of other people. Remember, you don't want to sit in the toxins of others, and nor do you even want to sit in your own toxins. On a regular basis, you don't have to worry about the future, but just right now, do something that shifts your emotions right now. If you focus on only right now, you can change that moment and as a result, change your whole life. Anyway, this is my suggestion of moving towards creative relaxation. What's yours? What are you doing to relax? What are you doing to feel more at peace, more confident? What are you doing to give yourself the feeling that things are going to work out? Let us know. Please like these videos. Let other people know about them and be a part of this growing community. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. Remember, learning to be at peace brings peace into the world. I bring my hands together and I bow to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your time. Namaste.